Okay, so my name is Michael Egermeier from Austria.
Hello, I'm Alexander Kollmann from Austria.
I'm Laura de Sousa from Spain.
Hey, I'm Dominik Jeschek from Austria.
Chitomics. So Chitomics is a biotechnology-based recycling business. So we are taking a waste product from biotech companies, which is fungal biomass, and turning this into a valuable chemical.
So Michael and I, we are working at the University of Natural Resources and Life Science in Austria, and there we face the problem that that there is a lot of biomass waste, and we tried to find out to do something useful with it. And first of all, we thought about maybe some isolation stuff, but yeah, then we wrote more publication, read more publications, and then we found out chitin or chitosan is a very valuable chemical. Let's focus on this chemical.
It's a really huge opportunity for us and to be able to make this project bigger. But there are really good projects out there also.
Yeah, work, but it was funny, so it wasn't work at all.
It was worth it, yes. So I mean, we started maybe 5 months ago, and yeah, basically in a course, and now we are here. It was a lot of work, but we had a lot of fun. We really want to start a company like that, and I hope this will be like the kickoff for that.
Yes, we have learned a lot about how to pitch, we have a coach company who helped us a lot. And yeah, I think we have learned things we haven't learned before, and we still have to learn a lot.
For sure. So what are going to be our next steps? In 2018, we want to launch small-scale production with about 300 pounds and further optimize our extraction process in terms of energy and chemicals demand. In 2019, the scale-up should lead to a production volume of 2.5 US tons per year. In 2020, our R&D unit should deliver first results for Chitosan derivatives, and the production of those is going to start in 2021. By the year 2022, we want to be able to produce 130 tons and sell Chitosan to the market. We are not only trying to patent our extraction process, but also the Chitosan derivatives and the specific use cases I've explained. So who are we? We are a group of 5 students from different universities. We have Dominik and myself with background in biotechnology and microbiology. Alex has a background in business law and finance. Back at home, we have Susie, our marketing expert, and Laura is our chemical engineer. So together we are Chitomics, a biotechnology-based recycling company turning fungal biomass waste into a valuable chemical. And with your support, we're going to make the next step to produce eco-friendly Chitosan and make an important step towards a sustainable economy. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hey man, you get props just for that right there. You know, hey, excellent presentation. Really enjoyed many parts of it. You explained a complicated, I would say, very complicated a process, chemical. What you want to do with it. You did that very well in 10 minutes. So
Thank you.
You really need to be commended for that. So a couple of questions, getting down into some of the things you put up. And I'll start with the first question. Let's work our way down from there. So my first question really goes in, I guess, 2 parts. First was your financials, looking at your financials, and then the second was the investment. And I'm kind of 2 questions on each end. One is it really realistic, do you feel, to say the worst case scenario you guys are going to have is, I think was it $9 million. I think that just, how did you come up with, that's the worst thing that's going to happen to us?
In the worst case scenario, our upscaling process will need more time and will be less efficient. So that's how we calculated it. And the process is working, so that's for sure. And therefore, we have a worst case scenario of $9 million.
Okay.
Just a quick question. You said that you needed 5.9 million investment. What are your plans to obtain that investment?
We are trying to find investors in our field, and we have competitions in Austria like Best of Biotech that would work for our project. So that will be the first steps for us to take.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
At one point you said that there will be drastic increase in demand. Can you explain a little bit further why increase in demand?
The increasing demand is mainly because of these new fields of application I explained. So, for example, we have some slides for that. Okay, so let's have a look at the current applications. So, for example, in agriculture, as I said, this is the fastest growing market. And we need, for the future, alternative fertilizers. Because as you might have heard, it was a couple of weeks ago on the news, we have these problems with current fertilizers that they create a lot of waste which is going into the ocean, into the sea, and we have this death zone in the Gulf of Mexico where there is basically no oxygen anymore. And so we need alternatives to that. And Chitosan is the answer to many, many different fields. And this is the reason why the demand is rising so quickly.
My question is, first of all, I didn't know anything about Chitosan before today, so thank you for that, and very educational. I'm just wondering about the step where you are convincing the buyers of this that the alternative version of that is going to be viable for them, right? So when do you think that step is coming, and what do you think the risks are in that you're not even going to be able to enter the market with this different kind of product?
So basically we have the product ready. The biggest risk, as you said, is convincing consumers to actually use it. So this is where we have to do, just get out B2B business and go to the customers and just convince them and give them a sample. You go just and try it, and that's why it's so important for us that we have Anacon Consulting in Austria. They have actually a lot of valuable contacts to farmers and to the agricultural sector. So yeah, this is where we want to gain our reference customers.
Okay. Can you tell me where you are in your IP process right now?
Hey. Thanks for this question. We have, as you have seen on the business model, that we have also an R&D unit. And there we aim for three things. We want to continuously improve our process. Then we want to work on this Chitosan derivatives, because for this future application, this will be a big market. And we also want, as you have seen also in the slide with the biomass, we want also to increase the process to separate, or improve the process to separate the biomass, so that we also can generate other fractions out of it, which also can be sold. For example, the protein-rich fraction, which could then be used as a better animal feed, or as better in comparison to the biomass, or as fertilizer. And also, we aim to actually also use the chitin maybe to generate new nitrogen-containing chemicals, which is also a big deal nowadays, because maybe 5% of our air pollution is released to the Haber-Bosch process, which is to produce nitrogen-containing chemicals.
May I just add something? So first of all, we want to try to patent the process itself, but then a very important part is actually these Chitosan derivatives and these novel use cases for Chitosan. And this will be a big part of our intellectual property.
Okay. Yeah, I really enjoyed your presentation. I thought it was really crisp, very straightforward. So Chitosan is Chitosan. So why you say going out and working with a company in your home country to convince the people that are using chitosan to use yours versus shrimp-derived chitosan? Isn't chitosan chitosan? I mean, why are you having to convince people to use yours? And what is the savings for the end user? You know, is yours cheaper than shrimp-based, or what are you basing that on?
So the price is comparable between our chitosan and the shrimp chitosan, but there are two things which are important. One is the rising demand. So there is a need for more production ways of chitosan than the shrimp-derived. And as I said, it is animal-derived product. So there are many applications where this is not helpful. For example, as I said, vegan cosmetics or some food and beverage labels. We have one very nice example. You can treat fruits and vegetables with a chitosan liquid, which increases the shelf life of, for example, a banana. But if you do that with shrimp-derived chitosan, it's not vegetarian anymore, right? So this would be one benefit we have and one reason why to use fungi-derived chitosan.
Okay, we've got a couple questions. How much does it cost to produce chitosan using the traditional shrimp method, and will this source become unsustainable?
So the process is similar. So you have a similar extraction process as we've shown. There are more extraction steps to do with the shrimp-derived chitosan. That's the reason why the production itself is a bit more expensive, but the raw material, the shrimp shells, are a bit cheaper than the biomass itself. So the question was if it's getting limited, right?
When will this become unsustainable?
Unsustainable? Well, you know, we have a lot of troubles with growing shrimps, and in general, we have the fishing industry is struggling with overfishing. And when you cultivate shrimps, you need a lot of antibiotics and stuff like this, to make them to get them grow. This is where it's one of the reasons why it's unsustainable, and you don't need this for biomass. And as I said, the demand. We think that you cannot cover the world demand for chitosan only by extracting shrimp shells or other crustaceans.
One other question, is there a difference in the quality of chitosan you produce over the traditional shrimp sources?
Well, our chitosan will have the advantage of having a stable quality, stable purity actually, level. And actually, depending on the industry you're selling to, you need different kinds of purity. We have a slide of the market share. Can you put it? Yeah, here. So, for example, we wouldn't target first the pharmaceutical one because they have high regulations, and high regulations require high investment. So we would aim to approach these industries later.
May I add something? The quality of chitosan is varying. This is one of the things we got to know when we went out and talked to cosmetics companies which are actually using chitosan. So they have troubles that the quality of chitosan from shrimp derived actually is not very stable, and also the price is not very stable. So this is one of the benefits we have with biomass derived chitosan.
One more question. You're producing a chemical from food. What is your posture regarding the dilemma that there are millions of people that are starving because they do not have food to eat? Besides, what is your yield? How much mushrooms do you need to have a certain amount of product?
So it's not directly produced from food, right? It's the biomass we use is a waste product from fermentation industries, like, as I said, these biotech companies producing, for example, antibiotics or bulk chemicals. So this is not food derived. There's no competition for food for this. Yeah. What was the second part?
Yeah, and if we talk about the cattle feed that we, maybe, that there is no cattle feed left, we want to try to improve also this process to to provide then cattle feed too, if this was a question about the food. And this is a biotech process, so you can't use mushrooms. It's just an, that it's a lot better to understand that this what is a mushroom, because when we say fungi, nobody would understand that this is, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We want to thank our host families for the warm welcome and the warm hosting here in Blacksburg, Virginia.
We had a great time.
We had a great time, really great time.